Hey YouTubers, it's me, Lonnie Clark. That's for art. I thought I'd take my glasses off so that, I don't know, the reflection of the light on my glasses annoys me. I can't imagine it would do to you. So this video is called Quantum Healing 3. And it is really, I'm not going to pray anymore because when I pray and I ask the universe to deliver us, I don't keep praying for the same thing because then that sort of means that you doubt your prayer is going to be answered, right? So that's not what this quantum healing is about. I thought what I'd do in light of this week, because if anybody here, actually the few people that are my subscribers probably do remember or have been following me long enough to have listened to my podcast, the Age of Fission radio podcast. And I was podcasting when Donald Trump got elected. Let me fix this. Let's see if I can fix it because I want to sit up straighter. Hold on, pecan. There you go. Now that's better, I think. But anyways, the day Donald Trump got elected, the day afterwards, I was on the radio that morning and I was pissed off. I could not believe it that America elected this con man. And I actually called him Pinochet 2.0. The day he got elected, I said, you think he's leaving? Think again. And the people that put him in power are counting on him to do an authoritarian dictatorship. And that is what he has done straight down the line, starting from installing his own family members as members of his inner circle, a political inner circle. It's completely outrageous. Hey, maybe I could do this. Hold on. Yeah, that's a lot better. I, in my wildest mind, would not believe that Donald Trump would sit in a tent with Ivanka Trump and Donald Trump Jr. and the gargoyle woman dancing and laughing, watching television screens as people assaulted the Capitol building of the United States. After the dog whistle that was given that afternoon, Donald Trump doing this, saying, I'm going to be there with you. Let's go down to the Capitol and fight. That's what those cops and veterans did. A large part of the crowd was cops and veterans. Donald Trump was able to turn cops and veterans into domestic terrorists. And part of why I'm posting this video tonight is in response to Thomas Ackerman's video. I love Tom. Tom and I are very good friends, I believe. Like, we're true friends. I don't think there's much that Tom could do to ever make me turn away from him. Him and I have always been authentic. And tonight he made a comment about this clown show. Well, yes, I get it. The oligarchs installed Donald Trump to perpetrate this, quote, clown show. But you know what they did in the meantime? And this is what's being missed. Innocent people like my sister, I call them maggots. And I think that's reasonable. She got mad at me because I referred to them as maggots. And I'm like, look, maggots feed on decay. And that is what Donald Trump is. He's decay. These lies about our election system are lies. We live in a democratic republic, and we have a system that relatively works pretty good. And up until Donald Trump decided he wanted to keep being dictator and plant the seed, him and his minions. You know, when they took over Chile, Pinochet took over Chile, the first thing they did, the United States, the CIA spent $1 million on El Mercurio, the national newspaper. $1 million to sell Pinochet to the Chilean people before they installed him. They worked on him for about 1.5 years, 2 years, before the coup went down there and they installed him. They killed Allende, had this whole big fake thing. It all came out. And that was Ronald Reagan. That was Alan Greenspan. And actually, you know who Alan Greenspan is married to? Andrea Mitchell of MSNBC. So these are the people who have set the road. Like, these are not like, when people call MSNBC like a liberal station, no, MSNBC is not a liberal station. Turn it on right now. Are they talking about sedition? No, they're talking about, oh, the lack of security. Are they talking about institutional white supremacy? No, they're talking about, oh, the disparity between how blacks are treated and whites are treated by the police officers. This is what I love, Tom. He got it. The fundamental thing. But to me, honestly, and I'm going to wrap this around to the whole COVID thing, because I live a quarantined life. It's not like I have to quarantine. I live a quarantined life. Nobody comes to my house unless they want money. Nobody calls me unless they want me to do something for them. I mean, the only people I occasionally see are my 2 children. My one daughter, now this is very interesting, one daughter who has 4 kids, homeschools her kids, very anti-masker person, like will not mask, will not let her, she hasn't been in a store, she orders in now, or her husband goes out. Like, her child had to go to the hospital, he broke his arm, they had to wear a mask, so she didn't make a big deal, she just wore a mask. But she thinks it's very harmful to your lungs and blah, 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 blah. My other daughter, Sterling, her coworker died. He went back to work at the end of September. He got COVID-19 October 29th. He was dead by November 16th. 43 years old, muscular, healthy, vegan, no drugs, no alcohol, got the symptoms of COVID and died. So something is going on. So I'm in this middle world. Now for me, I'm 65 years old. I'm in like the risk group, right? I take 12,000 milligrams of vitamin C every day along with a handful of other nutrients. Am I in the best shape of my life? No. Am I the healthiest I could be? No. But am I afraid of COVID? No, not at all. I see my grandkids. I hug them. I told my other daughter, who's freaking out about it, like, we deal with it. And if we feel like Sterling, this is what I've negotiated, because I personally, I'm sort of in that middle world. I think it's just gotten all effed up. We have a virus going out. In fact, we have tons of them. After COVID-19, we're going to have something else. This virus, the pandemic of 19, thanks to Sean McGee, who did his research of nuclearnews.net about the pandemic, he schooled me on it. Like, it started in the 1890s. It killed the old people, killed the young kids. And then when it started whacking off white males, that's when they called it a pandemic. So now, now they count everybody and they're freaked out because, oh my God, it's here. We have an opportunity, I believe, if everybody just at least washed your hands. We got something going on here. I'm not sure we need to close down the economy. I think we could think of creative ways to keep the economy open. But I don't know. Would I trust the vaccines? No, I don't trust any vaccines. So you see where I'm at? Like, I'm all over the place here. And I got 2 kids that are pulling me with one arm in the middle like this. So this is my quantum healing. This is why I'm sharing this with you, because I want to come back and do YouTube videos. I understand why people don't do YouTube videos, because you get harassed, especially if you speak the truth about nuclear contamination. It's beyond comprehension. It's almost like now with Trump, this thing, like, Americans should be in the street demanding that Mitch McConnell get these. I mean, like, I agree with Nancy Pelosi's issue tonight. Like, she's kind to give him some time. Like, either you resign or you're getting impeached, brother. You're getting out of here. And if he, a guarantee, if Mitch McConnell doesn't bring it to the floor of the House, which in my own opinion is sedition on its own, because Mitch McConnell has his own issues, but if this was done in the face of everybody, and if we're talking the rule of law, you don't overthrow your government in the middle of a vote. And you don't defile the Capitol building and destroy property to get your point across. That is not a peaceful protest, folks. And whoever set it up, whoever participated in it, they were average Americans, and they were cops and veterans. And a bunch of illiterate, not illiterate, but ill-informed people like me. During 2016, I 100% believed that Hillary Clinton's head was bobbing like this. I'm just going to make that confession to you. I bit the hook on a lot of this internet bullshit. I just still do not like the Clintons. I never liked the Clintons. This will go way back, but I'm just talking to you like clearly. We have had the ability to froth up hate with the President of the United States, and he is intentionally keeping himself in power to avoid going to jail, because New York State has a pretty much airtight case of tax fraud and banking fraud, because he lied to the bank about his tax information and his financial situation, and he lied to the IRS about his profit and losses. I mean, he is a criminal of the highest event. And his accountant, I think he pardoned his accountant. But interestingly enough, doing that means that that guy is going to be compelled to tell the truth. And if he's caught lying, his pardon goes away. So Trump's too dumb to pull off this scam. Like, they set him up perfectly. And this is where I go back with Tom. As an American, to be honest, it hurt my feelings that you downplayed this and just called this part of the cabal. Like, this was an assault on our nation. And it's been an assault on our nation and the world. Donald Trump has been a harm on this planet for as long as he's dug his heels into this system. He needs to be impeached immediately and removed from office. I personally believe that he's going to negotiate a deal with the Congress and the Senate, which, okay, he can go defect. If he wants to go to Saudi Arabia or Russia or wherever he goes, bye-bye. But he loses all rights to the internet. He cannot and he'll go to the deep underground and create all this. He's an evil person. Until his heart stops clicking, he's going to be a danger to the planet. That's how I feel about Donald Trump. But in all of this conversation this is why I'm calling this quantum healing number 3, because, when I was raising my children as a single mom, I would often tell them, like, whenever they got sick, like, what is it that's going on with you? Whatever it is that's messing you up, like, process your emotions and everything will get better. Yeah, I know. And I've always had this, like, I never actually realized it, but it's always sort of been that's been my alternative religion. Like, I was raised a Catholic, and then I became an atheist, and then I don't know, then I just went to, like, tried everything. Like, I studied the I Ching, I used to pray to trees, I went to the Christian church, I got baptized, I was the holy roller, like, I tried the Buddhism thing. Like, I tried things because I have this urgent need to harmonize with our Creator. And then I moved to Eugene, and I was in such a place. And I learned EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, where you do tapping. And it helps you process your emotions. And I began to realize, like, intuitively at work, like, this is a kind of a gift I've always thought that I've had. Like, that's why I say God picked me for my work. I help people with tax problems. I'm tax resolution specialist, but I don't really talk about that, and I actually don't talk about my other side, my spiritual side, for the same reason, because to me they're sort of intermingled. Because the weird thing about me is what I noticed a long time ago when I first started doing this, like 21, 22 years ago, is I can tell, once I take power of attorney for you, I can tell what's going to happen, and I can tell when they're lying to me, and I can tell, and I can cut it off with a path and just tell them, like, what would happen if you didn't tell the truth, and blah, 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 blah. This is why I'm successful, because I keep people from doing stupid shit. Bottom line. Okay? So when I came to Eugene, I was sort of in this mix of where do I belong and what do I do, and I'm sort of all mixed up, right? I learned EFT, calmed my nerves down. My daughter gave me this in 2004. I'm going to show this to you. This actually became a very interesting instrument for me. It's a pendulum. And a lot of people say this is witchcraft, but I will tell you what, like for me, this is not witchcraft. This is like me connecting to my own energy. And I don't know if you guys know this about pendulums. This is called pendulums, but you can connect with your spirits, like your own angels. Like I actually believe and I guess, interestingly enough, this is why I'm calling it quantum healing. I'm just bringing us all back to the title. I watch a YouTube video channel called ADV China with a guy named Winston, and I don't know if that's the exact name of his channel. I'll put a link after I get this posted up. I'll go back and clean it up, and I'll put their link on there. But he was talking about some comment because he was raised by vegans, and he's really pissed off because he feels like he's short because his parents forced him to be a vegan. Kind of cracks me up. But anyways, he was talking about something about religion and how you shouldn't push your religion on people or something like that. But he mentioned something about his parents believing in homeopathy, which has worked for me. And he thinks that alternative medicine and Chinese medicine is just a pile of shit because he lived in China for so long and he saw probably a lot of it fail. I, on the other hand, have seen alternative medicine, so-called alternative medicine, actually be the true healer for me. So when I've gotten acupuncture, it worked 100%. Herbal teas have worked for me, although they're slower, it's different. I think we need to mix the two. So the other day he was mentioning how about people that believe in crystals and all that stuff, that's like a religion. And it actually dawned on me that that is like a religion. Because part of believing in this is believing that I am connecting with my spirit, like with my Jesus self. Like this is where I was when I was like wanting to be a Christian so bad because I thought my life was fucked up because I wasn't a Christian. And to me, this is much more direct. So this is what I mean, like with the quantum healing. And this thing with Donald Trump, I think it's been a good thing because we have actually seen what this is about. In my view, what this is about and the cabal that is running the planet relies on racism. They created racism originally to create the slave trade. So the problem is that the slaves demanded to be free, so then they decided to enslave us with the economy, right? And now the white supremacy, that whole idea is going away. And it's so ironic how white males are just so easily slathered up over feeling superior. I mean, it's completely amazing, but they've had power forever. So I guess like it's in their DNA epidemiology. You know, like what's that called? Epigenetics or something like that, where your parents' emotions passes down from genes to genes to genes, right? So I am encouraging us to all think of our higher good and to find if reading the Bible makes you feel more connected to your higher good and gives you a sense of peace, or the Quran, or whatever it is that you do. For me, I do this. I messed up my right arm, you guys. So this is my tarot cards and my angel. I have angel cards, spirit cards. These are geometric, sacred geometry cards. These are ancient, the Greek angelic cards, which is like the first tarot that was ever really created. And these are super awesome. I've showed these to you before. But these are the wisdom of the crones, and they're pretty interesting. And then I do this, like I carry this in my pocket, like my pendulum. You can ask if you get a pendulum, and you can make a pendulum actually out of anything. As long as it swings freely, like you're not controlling it, right? So what I do is I lay it down in touch of my hand, and then I ask it a question that is like, actually I know is a no question. And then I'll ask it a question that I know is a yes question to see which way is yes and no. So watch this. Okay. I am a man. So my no is sideways. I live in Oregon. Okay. So you see that? Front and back. And so let's ask it something. Is Donald Trump going to attack America one more time? So when it doesn't move, it's because a lot of times your spirit guides don't tell you stuff that you're not supposed to know. Like, you have to just wait. But you can ask for guidance if you're having to make a big decision about what you should do. Like, watch this. Should I be making YouTube videos? It always goes, yes. I know I don't make videos very often, you guys, but I think about it all the time. And I have to admit, I don't make the videos because I don't want to be part of the white noise anymore. And this is where I say that my friend Tom prompted me to make this video. And I know I'm going on longer. I don't know how long this is, but, you know, Tom pontificates, for lack of a better word, on like higher ideals and the obvious, like the fact that the cabal has like planted their seed and detonated the frickin' bomb on Wednesday, right? But this is my message to you. Their paradigm is not our paradigm. We do not have to participate with what they're doing. We can believe in a greater good. We can believe in a better vision because, believe you me, our thoughts are things. What we think about will come about. So if you just think about, with cynical mind and cynicism, all the bigotry and the hatred, what you think about attracts to you. It's super, beyond super important, like quantum healing, super important. For you to actually, at least, I know it gets overwhelming, but when you get overwhelmed, take a little sip of your tea or your coffee and go, you know what, I'm going to think of something, a better way, like how would we want this to be the best resolve for this? And for me, the best resolve is for Americans to start looking at each other as neighbors and friends. We're one America, one United States, and the government isn't out to get us. Ronald Reagan, that message was bullshit. The government is there to help us organize and help each other, bring each other up, because we have a big country and everybody wants to make money. And we have a system where everybody could. But we cannot if only a few people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk become multi-gazillionaires and we're just fucking drinking sewer water, you know, that's going to very soon be, you know, too toxic to drink because we left Donald Trump in the White House for 4 years. So we have critical things that we have to get down on, and we need to lean into making government work for us and refusing to think the negative of all of these politicians. And if we think that negative of them, vote them out. Take away their power. It can be done. And Mitch McConnell, we can hold him up. I personally think that Mitch McConnell refusing to hold impeachment hearings immediately is an act of sedition. From day one, he has been wanting to overthrow our government with, we're no longer compromising. Then with Barack Obama's dinner date with his Republican friends, let's block Obama everything. And then the graveyard. Mitch McConnell created like over 400 pieces of legislation he just refuses to do. And then on top of that, packing the courts with highly unqualified judges, which the bar, every review board said hundreds of them that they seated were not even qualified. Not even qualified judges on the seat who have never even heard a case. Mitch McConnell packed the courts while nobody was even freaking looking. That's why we didn't get any legislation passed, because he's packing, and the Republicans clicking their heels and saying Sig Heil to Donald Trump. And now we see the seditious acts of these guys breaking in, white men breaking in, boom, boom, breaking in with big logs. They had things. These men were organized. Yes, it was a cabal, but it started with Donald Trump. Donald Trump was their general. You get that? And we need to get him out of government. And we need to lean into it, and we need to see the better good. And we actually, this week, we really must focus on Donald Trump resigning or defecting without causing an explosion and more death to anybody else in our nation, because he has perpetrated such lies that they have convinced millions of people that the government is out to get them. No, they're not. No, they're not. The government has all of us exactly where they want us. They have, like, the government is ours. And the people in government who aren't responding to us are listening to the cabal, to the lobbyists. So I read this article. Mitch McConnell doesn't want to do impeachment because of lobbyists and firms. Asta, that's what I got to say to that. That is treason. Because his backers who want a fascist government say, no, leave the fascist government in until they blow up somebody this week. Donald Trump is a clear and present danger that needs to leave right away. And it's not just a game and a clown show. And this is where, getting back to my friend Tom, I get it, but please, it's not a game and it's not a clown show. People are dying. Systems are dying. We have a system that has allowed us to live at least in a way that we can self-reflect and actually change and transform. Your country, our country, we have like a fabric of an idea of how we can change and transform it. And yes, the nuclear industry has a strong hand in devouring that. But you know what? The more that you and I and everybody else talks about it and exposes the monster, because we can't overcome them. We've learned that. We can't overcome them directly fighting them. But what we can do is be persistent and think about decades, not centuries, because probably we don't have 300 centuries. 500 centuries. Humankind will probably be dead in 500 centuries. But what we do have is this decade, next decade. We probably have 50 years to help improve the lives of the youth, to whom we owe much. Our grandchildren, I personally am going to not just fight, I am going to work and speak and do what I can to make a difference so that their lives are easier, so that maybe a miracle might come and we can fix the nuclear contamination, the chemical contamination, reverse the mega farming and the whole thing that just offset the system for greed. Because it's going to change and some of us are going to survive. And so I want to be part of that solution, and I encourage all of you to be part of that solution. And you don't have to have a firm thought of what that means. Just have a firm thought of the end picture. A green planet again, with people in harmony, working together, where people aren't fighting. We don't have wars all the time. We have commerce. We trade goods. We build goods in our own country. We allow each other's territories to remain intact, and we let our countries flourish and companies interact. And I think that's a good thing to dream about anyways. So that's my quantum healing. Ciao, you guys. And I just might be doing some card readings for those of you who are freaked out and going to call me a witch. If you call me a witch, I'm just going to delete you, because I guess that is my religion. It gives me guidance. Not that I don't read the Bible. I do know the Bible. But I actually do believe the Bible is written for men, by men, and edited by men to keep women out and to control men, women, and children, so that a few hierarchy, the oligarchy, the whole Judaic system of men controlling everything, those days are over, and I can't abide by it, so it doesn't feel real. This doesn't tell me how to think. It gives me some guidance. Anyways, might be seeing some card readings, because I actually do readings myself on card readings for nuclear contamination, where things come up. It gives me ideas on what I think, and it's actually very interesting. So I might share that with you guys. I'm not sure, because I don't want to be attacked. I've had that enough. Do I need it? I don't know. I sort of let God be my guide, if you don't mind me saying so. I just let my spirit sort of tell me what's the right thing for me to do. Like tonight, So put your courage feet on, you guys. Thank you for subscribing and listening to my video. And I have no idea how long it is. It's the first time I haven't really been conscious of how long it is, but it's what it is. I don't know how to edit. I bought some editing software. I still don't know how to use it. I've had several people promise to come help me learn it, and nobody has. So I'm just going to be posting this as is. So I'll talk again soon, and I have no idea when that is. But ciao, you guys. Oh, I think I can do it this way. Hold on. This is like this new deal for me. Oh, dear. I think it's still going.